I'm going to talk to you about wild orange. And this superstar of an oil is a really amazing oil to have in your collection because it is by far one of the most versatile oils. It has so many different uses. It's incredibly economical and also very, very effective in its healing properties and abilities. So this oil comes from the Citrus sinensis family, and it is dōTERRA sources it from the south of Brazil and also from Greece. It is cold pressed from the rind. So if you think of when you peel an orange, sometimes as you peel that little bit of spritz, that fine mist that comes out of the orange, that's the oil that is cold pressed from the rind, and that's what goes into the bottle. The oil is, so if you think about the smell of that oil, when you walk into a kitchen and say someone's just peeled an orange, it has that beautiful, fresh, uplifting, citrusy, warm smell, sweet smell, and that's exactly what you get when you open up a bottle of wild orange and breathe that in. It smells of fresh oranges. And that is one of the most popular uses of this specific oil, is its uplifting and energizing effect that it has on the body. So if anybody's feeling particularly low or down and hasn't really got the energy to get going, that's a great oil to diffuse around them. Or like for instance in our home, when my girls sometimes wake up in the morning and they don't really feel like getting up and doing their schoolwork and that's one of the first oils I reach for, together with peppermint oil. And I'll talk a little bit just now about the powerful synergy of blending oils together. So I take some wild orange and a little bit of peppermint, a bit of fractionated coconut oil, rub that on the palms and get them to inhale that deeply, and then rub that on the soles of their feet and maybe a little bit on their neck and then I leave them for a few minutes just to start waking up, and it's an amazing mood shifter and able to get them going. If you're feeling a little bit tired or down, diffuse that oil and you'll be amazed at how quickly it uplifts the mood and helps you to get going. The oil is also great in its detoxification abilities. So if your body itself is feeling a little bit sluggish, so maybe at the end of a flu or an illness, or if you're starting to feel a little bit sluggish, like you're starting to feel like something's like some kind of illness is coming on, it's a great oil if you combine it with a bit of manuka honey. So 2 to 3 drops of wild orange and manuka honey, and then drink that with warm water or with tea, and maybe do that 3 times a day. It's great because what happens is it helps to drain the lymphatic system, so it's a great support for the lymphatic system. It also really helps the liver in its detoxification process. Now the liver is the main organ of detoxification in the body, helping to get rid of the unwanted chemicals and compounds, and diffusing a little bit of wild orange and also taking a drop in water in your water bottle, make sure it's not plastic, a glass or one of those metal water bottles, great in helping the liver to detoxify. And that comes from that bitterness of the peel that helps that detoxification process. And also what it does is it helps to digest a lot of the fats in the body. So if you've had a particularly heavy meal and you're feeling bloated in that, diffuse a little bit of wild orange or a drop in water, same thing. Or even if you don't have a diffuser there, have your wild orange, always have it around with you in your bag. A drop, rub it together and inhale, so just with your hands. And because of this ability to digest the fats, it also gives a great support to the gallbladder. So that's all about detoxification, uplifting, energizing. The other really powerful ability of this oil is its ability in fighting anxiety and stress. So what it does is the compound in the oil helps to lower the cortisol level. Now cortisol is your main stress hormone, so that's the hormone that gets us quite frazzled. And so the wild orange helps to reduce that cortisol level. So a lot of the hospitals in America that are using it pre-surgery for their patients to help them deal with their fear and their anxiety. So they'll diffuse it together with another oil, lavender, which is also great in terms of calming. And that brings me to the using or the synergy of oil. So when you combine 2 or 3 oils together, the compounds of those plants combine beautifully to create very powerful healing abilities. And so when, like in this pre-surgery, if you are diffusing wild orange and lavender together, it's great in terms of reducing the stress. And so wild orange is also very uplifting and energizing because it has this ability to lower the stress, the cortisol levels. It's also great to help with sleep. Because if you think about it, if you are often what we can't sleep is because the reason why we can't sleep is because we're quite stressed. So now if you've got the ability to reduce those stress levels, it helps to relax us and therefore also helps with our ability to fall asleep. So that combined then, as I said, with the lavender, another calming oil, is really beautiful in that respect. And again with the synergistic blend, so an oil that I use to diffuse together with wild orange is vetiver. I can be a bit flighty, my head all over the show or my mind all over the show, and vetiver is a very grounding oil, and when I combine that with the wild orange, the uplifting, energizing, but also calming, it creates a beautiful atmosphere in the home and also a beautiful smell. Then if you're wanting to actually really focus, because the vetiver is great in terms of that, and so some of my girls sometimes when they're studying for a test or exam, I add the peppermint to that with the wild orange, and it's a fantastic focus blend. So again, that synergy of the different oils. So that's a little bit about the anti-stress and the fighting anxiety. Another really powerful property of this oil is its antimicrobial ability. It has very strong, it's got the compound D-limonene in it, so the peel has up to 90% of that particular compound, and that's very effective in fighting off bacteria. And in fact, a study done where they looked at 10 essential oils and their ability to fight off 22 different strains of bacteria and 12 different strains of fungi. Wild orange was one of 4 oils to completely eliminate that bacteria and that fungi. So it's great in those kind of properties. So to use that antimicrobial, you could use it in your household cleaning. So if you want to just very quickly, you could put 2 to 3 drops on a damp cloth and wipe down your kitchen counter after breakfast or dinner or whatever. You could make your own household kitchen detergent with that. So if you got a 500 ml glass bottle and you add, say, 10 drops of wild orange, 10 drops of lemon, and then a cup of vinegar, and you top the rest up with water in your spray bottle, you've got a great kitchen cleanser. And then on top of it, you've got a beautiful aroma in the kitchen, uplifting. So it's fantastic in that respect. Also, the antimicrobial for acne, it's great in cleansing the skin and helping to get rid of the bacteria that clog up the pores for that. So for my girls, I have a lovely little blend that I use, and oregano is quite a strong antibacterial oil. So the wild orange is much gentler, but is also powerful in terms of getting rid of that bacteria. So great for acne. And then I also use it in my home, or for myself, I sometimes do a bit of oil pulling, which is that ancient Ayurvedic practice. And so taking a tablespoon of coconut oil, and I put a drop of wild orange and a drop of clove, because clove is great for oral health. And I swirl that around in my mouth for about 20 minutes. And read a book while you're doing it, or pot around doing other things. And then when the 20 minutes are up, then rather than spitting that out in your basin, you want to do that in your toilet or outside, because you don't really want that going down your basin. So so that's really great in terms of all the antimicrobial properties. And then the other thing that I wanted to come back to that I forgot to tell you about is that peppermint and wild orange are great for reducing fever. So if someone in your family is sitting with a fever, 1 drop or equal ratio of wild orange and peppermint with a bit of fractionated coconut oil, and you rub that up and down the spine as well. Then the last thing I want to talk about with wild orange, because I really can go on and on and on, because there are so many amazing things to do and to use this oil with, is it has very good anti-inflammatory properties. So studies have shown that wild orange can reduce inflammation, and any inflammation in the body is linked to many different diseases and illnesses, and it's really because it's typically caused by the oxidative stress in the body. So diffusing wild orange or taking a drop in your water will really help in that to reduce the inflammation internally. And then even topically for joints and bones, if you combine it with a bit of fractionated coconut oil, make a roller of that, or even just some in the palm of your hand, and then rub that over the joints that are sore and inflamed. But with this, what you'd have to do, it has to be regular and consistent, and that should also help alleviate the pain and bring down the inflammation. So as I said, I could go on and on about wild orange. It is a really amazing oil, versatile, economical, highly effective, and in my opinion, no home should be without wild orange. Thank you.